Hi, welcome on to Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal Football Club. Going to kick off today with a goalkeeper that has been linked with a move to Arsenal. Goes by the name, you're familiar with this guy, Peter Cech, Chelsea goalkeeper now for many, many years, a top-class, world-class, I'd class him as goalkeeper, possibly the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. And it shows the strength in depth at Chelsea that they can actually afford to bring in Courtois, and Peter Cech now has become the #2 goalkeeper at Chelsea. A lot more sort of to do with his age, and Courtois is young and they want to hold on to Courtois. But Peter Cech, obviously after playing so many years as a #1 goalkeeper, wants to continue playing as a #1 goalkeeper. And there's a lot of speculation right now about his future. He's been linked with a move away, and his agent has hinted that he would be open to a move to Arsenal. He wouldn't. It's not something that is impossible to happen. Now, this is very, very interesting because thinking about it, I thought to myself, Peter Cech, he is a top class goalkeeper, but could you really see, Jose Mourinho giving us Peter Cech? You just look at it and you think to yourself, there's no way Jose Mourinho is going to make us get Peter Cech. He's a top class goalkeeper, as I've said, but there are, talks out there, and there are people out there saying that this could happen, including his agent saying that, listen, it's not an impossibility, and that Peter Cech would be open to a move to Arsenal. I kind of get the feeling that, well, two feelings on this. Number one, I kind of get the feeling that if Cech does go, he's going to go to a club that's not going to be a rival of Chelsea. Jose Mourinho is not going to want to strengthen one of his rivals. Although maybe he's looking at it and thinking, well, maybe Arsenal ain't a rival at the moment because they've not really got much of a chance of catching us up, and they could cash in on him. But I kind of get the feeling that he wouldn't want Peter Cech to come to Arsenal because, he's strengthening us. So, and he's not going to want to do any favours for Arsene Wenger. Then there's also the fact that in the summer, Arsene Wenger signed David Ospina. David Ospina came in as a goalkeeper that's supposed to come in and challenge Wojciech Szczesny. You saw him yesterday, David Ospina. He didn't put a foot wrong. Didn't have a lot to do, to be honest, but he didn't put a foot wrong in that game against Hull. And it was a very accomplished performance. We haven't seen a lot of him because of injuries. But could it be that, Arsene Wenger, after bringing in a goalkeeper in the summer, would then turn around and say, well, actually, we're gonna move for Peter Cech? I don't know. That doesn't seem to be Arsene Wenger's DNA. He's a manager that stays very loyal to players, and I think that he's probably going to be looking to stick to his original plan, which is, I've got Wojciech Szczesny, who I think is a very talented goalkeeper. However, there's a lot of arrogance to him. He's very young, and I want to keep him on his toes. And I think that this guy, David Ospina, is the guy to keep him on his toes. And to be honest, we haven't seen enough of David Ospina yet to know whether he is going to have the ability to cut it at the real top level in the Premier League. He has, done the business before in all the other leagues he's played at. He was one of the best goalkeepers in the World Cup. As I said, we haven't seen enough of him. But that is the talk at the moment. The biggest talk going around today, that Arsenal are heavily linked with a move to Peter Cech. I don't think there's any Arsenal fan out there that would be objecting to that, because we've seen Cech over the years, and he is a real top-class goalkeeper. Another player out there today being linked with a move to Arsenal. In fairness, the links are more heavily with him moving to either Manchester United or Chelsea, but there are links linking him also today with a move to Arsenal. Raphael Varane, 21 years of age, one of the most highly thought of defenders of that age in Europe, and it really comes as a surprise that Real Madrid may be willing to let him go. The price tag that they're putting on him is about £20 million. And he's French, of course, which I always say Arsene Wenger loves that because he's French himself. But it really comes as a surprise. He's not really getting much game time at Real Madrid under Ancelotti. When Mourinho was there, he was a real favourite of Mourinho. Mourinho really, really liked Varane. But he's not getting the same sort of game time under Ancelotti, and apparently they are willing to sell him. They are willing to sell him. There's a defender called Nacho at Real Madrid, who's sort of a player who's come through this system that they're really keen to push. And Varane's finding himself a bit down the pecking order. Now, like, as I said, the favourites at the moment to sign him are Chelsea, because Jose Mourinho is sort of the manager that gave Varane his break, and he really, really likes Varane. Probably could see him maybe as a long-term replacement for John Terry. And also Manchester United, who, of course, they've got a lot of money, United, and we all know United, just like us, need defenders. But I'm looking at it and thinking he would be perfect for Arsenal as well. You know, of course, we know our situation with centre-backs. We desperately need one. All right, we're looking for a more experienced one, but this guy, even though he's quite young, he's got experience of playing in the Champions League, he's got experience of playing for a real pressurized, playing in a pressure cooker atmosphere, playing for Real Madrid. I think he'd be an excellent signing for Arsenal. And if the price tag is right at 20 million, why not move for him? Why not move for him? I know that Chelsea, and as I said, would be probably favourite to sign him if he did become available. But this is the sort of signing that could improve Arsenal. And it's a player that if you bought him in, he's got a few, you know, he's young enough that you can bring him through and he can, you know, replace Mertesacker or Koscielny ultimately. And I just think he'd be an absolutely brilliant signing. So I'm hoping that Arsenal will get in there and get in on the act with this one, because this is a signing to me of what I've seen of him. He's looked excellent. It will be such a superb signing for Arsenal and just what we need at the back. So Raphael Varane available. A player at the moment that Arsenal have been, you know, very heavily linked to, very interested in signing, but he's come out today and said that he don't think he's going to be moving in January. He thinks he's going to stay put. And he won't be moving until at least the summer, and that is more shocking. We spoke about yesterday. He's a defensive midfielder, of course, you all know, at Southampton. Very, very good player. Would be just what Arsenal need to sit in front of that back four. But he has, disappointingly for all Arsenal fans, come out today and said, listen, I'm staying here till the end of the season. I'm not going to move. Remember, there was this big hoo-ha with him in the summer, where he was literally ready to go on strike to leave Southampton, with Tottenham and teams like that are very interested in him. Southampton are playing very well at the moment, of course, above us in the table, beat us in the last game. And Schneiderlin is saying, listen, I'm going to stay put. I don't think I'm going to leave the club until at least the summer. So it looks like that one's not going to be happening, which again is going to be very disappointing to a lot of Arsenal fans who love to see that happen, including me. But it's not looking like the Schneiderlin deal is going to take place. So that's very, very disappointing. But it looks like that's what's going to happen. Last person I want to talk about in this rumour is going around every single day. And it's the one about Edinson Cavani. As we know, Podolski has left. Arsene Wenger confirmed yesterday Podolski's definitely gone. Yaya Sanogo, Arsene Wenger also yesterday saying that literally that they're going to send him out on loan. They're just looking at which club to send him to. They want to send him to another Premier League club, with Crystal Palace, the favourite. Bordeaux also very, very interested in taking him on. But I think Arsene Wenger would like him to go to a Premier League club to get Premier League experience. And there's all the links to Edinson Cavani. Will Arsenal sign a player like Edinson Cavani in the January transfer window? The rumours are there every single day. It's anything from 50 million to 62 million. It just won't go away. And apparently we all know the stories. He's very, very unhappy at PSG. They've been disciplining him for ill discipline in the training camp. and the links are there. Again, I don't think this is going to be a deal that will happen. If it does happen in January, it's more of a summer deal because of the amount of money involved in the deal. And you know what? I'm picking up signs from Arsene Wenger and the things that he's been saying that it sounds to me like he's not even going to sign a striker, which again, I find that very strange. If you're going to send 2 strikers out on loan and leave yourself with only 2 strikers, again, we are putting ourselves into problems that if we get any injuries to Welbeck or Giroud, we're then short again in attack. And I think you saw it yesterday in that game. Even though Arsenal played very well in that game against Hull City, I still felt in that game we lacked a focal point, we lacked a striker. And if we leave ourselves short in that department against the real top teams, and even including in the Champions League, we're going to have a lot of problems. So I find it hard to believe that he's going to send them both out and not bring in a striker from a logical point of view. But if you listen to the sort of things that Arsene Wenger's been saying recently, he's been saying things like, well, I had to send Podolski out on loan because he would have had a lack of opportunity because of all the forward options that we have. Then he's going to send Sanogo out on loan. So he's probably looking at it and thinking, well, Welbeck, Giroud's enough. I've got Alexis who can fill in there. I've got Theo Walker who can fill in there. So I'm not going to sign anybody else in that position. So that's why I don't think the Cavani thing is going to happen. I'd be really, really shocked if it did. And that's kind of a shame because I think Cavani would give the club a mega, mega boost. He would be brilliant coming in. I mean, I do think we need another striker. Even somebody like a Wilfred Boney at Swansea, I think would be a great option to bring in. But as I said, I don't know, I just get the feeling that even with those 2 players going out on loan and striker option, striker positions, I just get the feeling that we're not going to bring in a striker to replace them. Let's see what you guys have been saying about all the transfer activity or lack of it so far as players coming in. We seem to be, as usual, Arsenal always seem to be good at shipping players out, not as good at bringing them in. Clayton Starling says both Wojciech Szczesny and Ospina have their advantages, but the main difference is their height. If Ospina played against Stoke, we would definitely not have been able to dominate the box like what Wojciech Szczesny done. Trejo Frank says Szczesny is a much better keeper than Ospina. I think we're going to have to wait to see on that because we haven't seen enough of Ospina. Matt Edwards says, now this is very, very controversial. Listen to who he wants at Arsenal. Jermaine Defoe. I'm not having that. Tottenham legend. Past his sell-by date. No, thank you. He could stay where he is. Mr. Seeger 1994 says Giroud is good. He just lacks pace and his work rate is questionable. What else we got here? King Angel 27 says Wenger thinks so highly of Giroud. He said we should swap him for Higuain. And Trejo Frank also says Cavani is 28, which means that he has got a max of 3 solid years in him. So he's not worth that price, and he's probably quite right there. I mean, that's going to be a lot of money. The money I'm hearing for Cavani, 50 million, 62 million. I don't honestly think that if Cavani did go, he wouldn't be going for anywhere near that money. I just can't see it. I think when they are ready to move Cavani on, I think it's more going to be in the 30 millions. But I just can't see that. And AFC COYG says he's another one. He's saying we should go moving for Cavani. Ed Cam says we should go for Cavani or Jackson Martinez. So there's a lot of people out there who would still love us to go out there and get Cavani. I mean, it's the big name thing. A lot of fans want us to bring in a big name in this January transfer window. What do you think Arsenal need? I want you guys to think about it for a minute. What do we need? What do we need? Give me the names of the players that you think could come in for what we need right now. Leave it in the comments below, and I'll have a look through them, try and read out the best ones in tomorrow's show. But thanks for watching Transfer Daily today. We'll be back tomorrow with more Arsenal transfer news.